Hey guys, and how's it going? Well, it's time to go move some stuff around and bring it over to the new shop, and one of them is the double cab. A lot of people don't even know I have it, but about 2 years ago I stopped work on it. I ended up getting tendonitis from too much sanding, so I put kind of the brakes on the project. So I wanted to move it over there and start picking away at it a little bit at a time, but it did not like being in the tent garage, as you can tell by the drag marks and where it was stored. It was definitely putting up a fight. Both front wheels are locked up. I don't have much here to work with. Beat the front wheels with a sledge. They are not freeing up. So I'm going to do my best to drag it up on the trailer. And once we're over at the shop, we can deal with it from there. But I can't do much in the way of steering. Well, we can steer it, but the front tires aren't turning. Let's see how it wants to play. That tire's turning. We only got one that's locked up now. Sometimes if you roll forward, they free themselves up. There it goes. For a second. Yeah, something inside there. There's a big pile of rust there. The shoe must have rusted right off the material rusted off the shoe and stuck to the drum. I guess we're going to go for the drag on the rest of it. Let me grab the wheel. I guess we'll call that a win. Uneventful, it made it. So now we need to be able to get that off the trailer and onto the lift. I do have the forklift here if we need it, but I think we should unhook it. We'll let it roll towards us and see if it wants to continue the roll. If so, we'll just go for it. If it doesn't, then maybe we'll try getting that brake drum off and seeing what's hanging up inside there. It has to be done either way anyway, so I'll have to do it now instead of wrestling with it all the way over to the lift. Alright, so here's the plan. The winch is still hooked up to it, but I have the remote in my hand. Ramps are set up. It is unchained and now has a ratchet strap securely fashioned to the front of the bus and to the forklift. So I can try backing up and see how it does for dragging it off, and I can feed out some line with the remote. I think it's going to work. And hopefully it does. If not, please hope it's entertaining. Normally you would want to hop up there and turn the wheel for me. I wonder why the winch wouldn't work. Why it died. It's an on-off switch on the side. I turned it off. Alright, more dragging. We could take the winch right off, actually. About another 4 feet. Touchdown. And let's see. 2 of those under the front might aid in the situation. Yeah, this works out. I wouldn't exactly say they're the best of quality. Wheel or two needs a bit of gentle illustration to look the right way. Try that. Versus mechanics, you need to go to a gym, you're lying. So I'm going to take a few minutes to get all the junk out of it, and all the stuff that is for it we'll keep on a separate pallet, and the rest of it can go up in the attic and get stored away, because it definitely turned into a storage center of sorts over the course of time. And then we'll see what we have to work with. Yes, all that did come out of there. So 2 of the 3 can go upstairs. These 2 can go upstairs. And this one's all the bodywork stuff that was inside the cab. So it was in a tent garage. And tent garage, other than keeping the rain off, it doesn't do much more than anything else. This was all redone. When I got it, had no floors in it. So I built all this and some other pieces in the front too. I think the front was missing half of it. But as you can see, getting close, that is mold. So we need to spray that down with a little bit of bleach and water. And you'll be surprised how that comes back. It's going to get another coat of paint on it anyway. You can see where I did a bunch of burn marks. That was from a stud welder pulling dents out. And then some areas tacked on the back wall. But all this was bare steel at one time. And then the same in the front. You see all the crud that's in there too. All that was nice and off-white. And it's changed. So let me go grab something to take care of that. And then while that's doing its thing, we could probably work on maybe freeing up the starter. Yeah, mix up a little potion. One thing I like to do is put a piece of wire on my funnels. Sometimes also for tying to the whatever you're working on, from falling over. But if you run it down alongside the funnel, when you pour in and you get the level up too high and it does that glug glug kind of thing, it allows the air to come out of the bottle. So we are going to go probably do about 3 inches in the bottle. And a little bit of soap. The soap kind of helps keep it from just the water turning into dots. It kind of allows it to be a mist and gives it a little bit of staying power. I'm going to fill it up to water. So we got 3 inches of, it's probably 3 to 1, call the mix. Got the water in it. A little bit of that. And sometimes it's hard to tell too because certain bleaches you get, I wonder if the strength is, some are stronger than others. So we're going to go try that and see how it does. If not, we can go a little bit stronger. But I'm sure we got for a fine mist. And that's not a fine mist. There we go. So I'm going to go in and just give everything a nice dampening. I gotta go get the mask on. But you get the idea. Let's go give this a quick shot. Turn the camera off, and I'll turn it back on in a few minutes. And see what we get for a difference. It'll turn brown. You can already see it already. It's starting to turn brown on us. You can actually see that everything on the wall over here is already disappearing. So I probably even go a little bit lighter. Yeah, there it goes. We're gonna have to turn the camera off. It looks like it's terrible. The thing's, real bad shape, and then you go and do that, and it just, cleans it right up. Houses are like that too. Sometimes the house looks really dingy, and you go and shoot some on there, and then the house, you thought that you needed paint, and you don't. Let's go try right here. Of course, I have a brand new black t-shirt on. That's why we can't have nice things. I could taste it. Can you taste it? And it just disappears. Pretty much all gone already. Works good, huh? You see over there where I didn't spray? There's a good spot to show what it can do. I'm doing other areas while we're waiting. And away it goes. Got some on the floor up there too. And what's a good angle? Right there. It's about 5 minutes later. There's enough time to mix up another bottle, but you can see that's where I hit on that side. I haven't sprayed over here yet, and you can see the areas I missed. I haven't even wiped it yet, so after you wipe it too, it'll even do better. Just get done spraying the seat too. You can even see the seat, how much it's changing. It was pitch black before. Oh, the color's coming out. It was like that. It's about, I don't know, half hour, 40 minutes later. Went around with some paper towels and just kind of wiped everything out. Much better. See the seat. You still want to go too strong with it, especially like on vinyl. It'll actually rot the material. That's not bad for the first shot. Hit it again, I'll get rid of some of that last remaining bits, you know. Like it never happened. Good. But I don't need to go crazy. Again, I'm still going to go paint it. Probably another time once everything's all said and done, and it's going to get dirty all over again from finishing the rest of the body work. But for tonight, I think I'm going to go get out of here and let the air aerate, evacuate, because it does do a number on your lungs. Even, you know, the mask is just for particulates, but the fumes from it still get you. So pick this up tomorrow morning. All right, it's the next day, and it's all aired out. So we go fix whatever that is. Keeping it from rolling. I think a part of the material broke off the brake shoe and is stuck to the drum. That's my guess. Feel free to take your guess right now. Go ahead, write it down. And we'll open it up, we'll find out. That looks like it's on upside down, I think. Wrong size. Should have brought a rag over here to put the bearing in. I'm going to try leaving the tire on the drum to help us get a little bit of leverage to pull it off. Let's go see how that goes. I want to grab a rag first, so that we don't make a mess of it. And I'm going to back you up, and hopefully there's not too much of a ridge on the inside of the drum. Want us to be able to back it off. All right, what do we got? Well, there's your problem. Yeah, Mother Nature is taking its stuff back. So that's the brake shoe stuck to the brake drum. Just can't get good things nowadays. All right, just glue that back on there, we'll be all set. I'm gonna glue it on temporarily, and when I get new shoes, this is again just for running it around inside the building under its own power. Thought I was kidding, huh? What do you say here about? I won't tell. That. We'll make it so that when it's moving around, at least it won't go metal to metal for us. all that has to get replaced. But for now, we're trying to concentrate on just doing the metal work on it. Metalwork and paint is what I'm trying to get accomplished. And a little gentle persuasion. Put a little pressure on her. And we'll let that set up. See if we can get the engine to run. Alright, so back by the engine. There's no wiring harness in this thing, so there's just got some jewelry rigged wires. This one is power to the coil and the carburetor, so if you put power to it, you hear the solenoid click. And this one just goes down to the starter wire, and when you hit this, it should crank. And that's what we're getting. No crank. And the motor's not stuck. You could turn it. So that's not an issue. So it's down by the starter. Hence what our issue is. Could even be dirty contacts, but it's about a 50% success rate on that. Let's go see what we got. Hopefully it'll lighten this in. So this is the power coming from the battery. And this is that blue wire that we were putting 12 volts to, and it was firing the solenoid, but the starter wasn't turning. I'm going to take a test light, and we're going to go probe the back of this and make sure, first, that we got 12 volts coming down here, and then second, that the 12 volts is going from here to the post. The other part of it, there's a set of contacts in here. Could be bad, so when the contacts are pulling in, it's just not having power go from here through here into the starter. I'm kind of freehanding the camera too, so. Alright, so we should have power. We do not. So we have no main power coming down from the battery. Well, that was simple. Shouldn't say that yet. Alright, let's see what we got going on up top. Let me figure out if I get my hand up there. Hold on, I'm going for a ride. Alright, so we got power at the terminal. And we have nothing going to the other side. Well, that will be your problem, now, wouldn't it? You think I would have been able to fix that at home? Let's go clean that up. What does number 2 work for? Any shiny metal? I do, so we'll give that. It's a new battery, so you would suspect that they would be kind of clean. Let's go put that back on top. And we should be able to, what was the blue one, right? Let's give that a tap, it should crank. Well, there you go. All right. Go see if we have spark, see if we get it to fire up. Alright, well, I'm sure the gas is totally dried up. Inside the carb, there's a little horn up in the center. This gas is not going down into the engine, it is going to fill the float bowl. And this is 2-stroke gas. Just because a little bit of oil helps. So it's got some gas in the float bowl. The fuel pump is hooked up. And there's a can over here that may have some fuel in it. Who knows? I don't remember. It's too hard to see in there, so we're going to wing it. So we have one wire, the green one, is power to the distributor and the carburetor. And this one should make it crank. And it just shot whatever that is out of it. It may or may not have spark too, so we're going to crank it a little bit. If it doesn't go, it should have kicked. So I'm going to take that power back off. I'm going to pop that cap. We'll go clean those points up, and she should go. This might be a little cozy. and definitely sitting in that garage, that tank garage. It keeps the moisture off of it, you know, the rain off of it, but they're not very conducive to like a little greenhouse inside there, you know. And points, the material that's on points has a tendency to crud up, kind of like, you know, the aluminum on the distributor here. Has it not made out of aluminum, but it does that same kind of issue. Put that back on. That may or may not have done it too. It may still have issues. Let's go back. Yep, we'll try it again. Everything else from the front of it works. You know, you could shift it, you could drive it. Throttle works. Nice. I'm gonna kill it. I don't believe we have any fuel in the tank because I didn't see anything pop up in the carb. But at least we got it to where it was before, where I drove it in there, and we could actually fire it up and drive it around. You just have to come back here again and put the 2 wires on it to fire it, but that's fine. Well guys, I think we're gonna wind down on this one, and now that it's here in between projects, I do want to keep picking away at it as long as my arms hold up for sanding. This side, pretty much the metal work is done and the body work is roughed in. You can kind of see, you know, you can see actually where the Bondo is, and I just shot primer over to help seal it. But it's fairly straight, and the metal work on this side is all done underneath it. The bed, I think we got as far as we would like to get it done. Lights getting you. Back wall, the roof's not done yet. 2 gates are. The nose, you know, it's all, somebody else started doing the work on this and it was really a mess. Welded in across the front has been done. The nose up top, I know it's got some rust on it. All this was rotted out and has been repaired, but it still needs the, you know, the correct body work done on it. And then this side, which was the better of the 2 sides when we started, the other side looked like this and even worse. Still needs to be addressed too. So we got a bunch of metal work to do over here. That's probably where I will continue to start up on it. It's got pretty much nothing is welded. Everything was just like riveted and bondoed over. You can even see like this body seam here. It just drops off to nowhere. The other side was the same way. They put a panel in here, but they never replaced that. The seam ends right there. And before, it had no floors in it. All that's been taken care of. That's nice and bright again, huh? And then this gate needs to be done too. This is not a high-end restoration that I am doing. I am just trying to make this thing into a nice, decent driver. So my bodywork skills are Metalwork is okay. Bodywork, not so much. So you can see all this needs to be tore apart. You can see it's all cracking. You know, so there's all kinds of, more than likely there's probably rivets going right around that seam there, so dig all that out, repair it. The other side was already done before and after. So with that, guys, thank you all for kind of hanging out with me and bringing a little double trouble back in the garage and getting its second lease on life, or a third or a fourth, or whatever it would be. All right, guys, with that, I'm signing off. Later. So we made out with that. Good enough for now. Alright, so that the red one was...
It's a water pump from the Maine Forest Service for fighting forest fires.
So they would put that on the ground somewhere into a pond and...
Right, right. One hose would go into the pond and one would be out. And it's an Evinrude outboard motor.
Is engine. The actual...
The engine, the motor's an actual Evinrude outboard motor.
What year do you think it is?
30s, roughly. It's pre-war. I'm pretty sure it's pre-war, but it might be leftover pre-war and they made them after the war. I'm not sure.
Okay. How long did you have it?
20, 25 years.
Yeah.
That was buried. It was under the. I had to get the big boat out to get that out because it was buried under the bookcases. It was one of the first shelves. It's one of the first things that went in.
And the little one is just off of a whatever,
I have no
like
idea.
a tiller or something.
I can't remember where I got it. I just liked it. I don't remember anything because that was also buried. So that was under there for 20 or 25 years. The boat engine, that's a launch engine or like not a big rowboat or a launch or anything, a little fishing boat. They use these putt-putts and everything, 20 feet, 22 feet. And they might have even used them in sailboats. I got that at the Owl's Head Museum of Transportation. They had a technology auction 30, 35 years ago.
And what year do you think it is?
I'm not sure. I think it's from the 20s or 30s.
Okay.
Might be teens, I'm not sure.
I love all the brass bits on it. That really is what...
I think if you paint it different color...
I think to paint off and see what's underneath.
Probably cast iron. It's not going to be brass.
Yeah.
But...
it looks like they kept all the brass pieces brass. And
yeah. Some of the early ones had a copper water jacket, but those are really, really, really early, turn of the century. And most of them, the copper jackets had corroded out. And that did run. I had it running once. I don't remember. It's like 12 or 18 to 1. You dump a ton of oil.
Yeah.
Same with that Evinrude's two-stroke.
Well, I know
16 or 18 to 1 on the oil.
but that's when they was just using regular motor oil, correct?
Yeah, they got like Babbitt bearings, like
Yeah.
inserts. They don't have any rollers, so you shouldn't go more than 20, 25 to 1. I mean, you
And
can
probably
go,
not. I wonder if you just kind of stick with using motor oil instead of...
go online, but all the guys that I know, they use synthetic oil. But
Okay.
But they, there's all these things that it doesn't stay, it drips off, and this, that, and the other. They all use, most of the guys, and there's tons of guys running outboards that's old and older than those things. They're all use 16 to 1, 12 to 1, 16 to 1, and they all use synthetic. Nobody used motor oil. And besides, the old motor oil you used was non-detergent. Now it's all detergent. I don't know how that would work.
Yeah.
It was straight 30 weight, and the oil technology isn't going to hurt the old parts. The new technology isn't going to hurt the moving parts.
If anything, it's even better.
Exactly.
Kind of more clingy.
Yeah, and it won't stink so much. It won't smoke quite so bad. But I'm not sure what that launch.
Wife says the same about me.
Yeah, there you go. I hear you. That launch motor, you might want to, it's either going to be 12, 14, or 16 to 1, and I know that's the same on the outboard.
What do you think horsepower-wise? About 2?
It was probably rated at 2, but it's probably 2 real horsepower.
Yeah, torquey.
But really torquey and low RPMs.
Yeah,
it probably
yeah.
had a propeller the size of a fan blade, a house fan. It probably had 12. Probably had a propeller that big around.
There's no gear reduction or anything on it.
No,
So.
It's start and go. It's forward only. I don't think there's any reverse.
Nice. What are you hiding from the camera? Hey guys.
Okay.
This is a 88, 87 or 88? 88, right?
88.
Westie that I grabbed. That was sitting for a long time, and did a refurb on it, and it went to my parents' house in Florida. And what are we here, about 5 years or so now? About 5 years?
About that, yeah.
Yeah. And still going. It has been sitting a little bit. So I figured I'd do a recap on it. We'll fire it up and see how it is and how it's running and how things are going. They got some stuff packed away in it. You leave the fridge open just to keep it from getting nasty? Yeah. So we're gonna go fire it up. It's a little ticky, you said? That's a common issue with these.
Hear it.
That's how you get in?
I can't get on this side.
Cold start. As I walk into the screen. Yeah, it's just a lifter not pumping up. It's a common problem with these. I had that same problem with it. I put in another lifter in it, but sometimes when you run them, they'll come and go away. There are hydraulic lifters in this, not mechanically adjusted valves. You want to pull it out? Tight squeeze. Let's go for a ride.
Go for it, okay.
Yeah, they're not the most reliable of the VW engines, being the water cooled. A lot of people put Subaru conversions in them.
Yeah, I think about a month ago or so, I took it down to Daytona. Well, it had to be over a month ago. A couple of months ago, had a front end alignment at the Volkswagen place.
Yeah.
And I'd rather take it to a Volkswagen place than some, you know.
Sears.
Yeah, exactly. So that worked out okay, and it worked pretty good.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to take it out and get the RPMs up on it. Yeah.
I do.
And that lifter will pump up. What happens is, where it's parked, if that one lifter is pushing a valve in, over time the oil squeezes out of that lifter.
Oh, okay.
And you run it, it'll pump the lifter back up.
Like I say, I keep checking the oil and everything seems to be okay. No
Yeah.
problem there. The air I hadn't got to go onto it, I don't even mess around with it, you know.
Oh, the AC?
Yeah.
And it probably lost the charge.
Yeah.
So it's 88, so it's what, 31 years old?
Yeah, well, 88, you take 12 and what? 12 and 19, 31.
How many miles are on it? 1477. So
Yeah.
is that first digit 100,000 or is that first digit 14,000?
It's 14.
So 114,000.
1477. Yeah.
Of course, my battery's flashing. Oh well. Let's do a high-speed run from 0. Full throttle. There she goes, 30,
Yeah.
35. Not too bad. And we're running it back home. Just took it down the highway a little bit. Cruise is nice, like 65, 70. Especially this one being an automatic, you would think that it would be kind of pathetic, but it's not. They're quite a decent drivetrain, other than the fact that the lifting noise. But I don't know if you guys can hear it, sounds pretty good now. It's got some exhaust leak on it, but again, for its age, it's doing quite well. A couple of scratches here and there. VW Darren did some painting on it when it first came down. Really cleaned it up nice. There's a playlist on my channel of this coming back to life. I think I paid 600 bucks for it, and of course, you know, it was abandoned, left in someone's driveway forever, infested with mice, all the typical stuff that happens to them. Had the engine out, the interior out, all that kind of. And the fan's a little loud, but it works well. Hi guys, it's just a quick little video. I just want to do an update on it. Seems like it's doing quite well still, and some people were asking about it, so this is the condition it's in. It's still alive, still kicking, still doing its thing. Until the next one, I'll see you later. Bye. I can see the patch he put on the muffler. shoehorn it back in. But my garage was tight.